So, what I'm going to be going over is about children's books, and this will lead to a broader discussion about how to actually do children's books and getting you unstuck in that process because a lot of times people don't know what the process actually is. And I produced a few of them actually, as well as other projects, but I just wanted to go ahead and concentrate on that a little bit. And I find that the biggest problem that people aren't thinking about in terms of doing those kids' books or doing that project or whatever it may be is that they simply don't have this power of love. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? It sounds like a ridiculous thing to say. So, what I mean by that is this is that there is a focus a lot of times, specifically by artists or by authors who are very much in tune with how they feel about things. And, a lot of times art comes from, this kind of vibe that you have, or this writing kind of comes with somewhere within. And so a lot of times you're wondering, why am I like this? But you're like, well, whatever. And you're thinking that you're not sensitive to stuff happening around you. And a lot of people actually are. A lot of artists in particular, a lot of writers in particular, and creative type people are pretty sensitive to things. And so what ends up happening is that you're so freaked out about getting criticism for that project that you have that you forget who you're making it for. Okay? So let me go ahead and explore some of these ideas. Some of these things are going to be kind of based off of Christianity. That's where my faith comes from. So that offends you, I'm sorry, but that's just kind of my worldview. But it's not necessarily where I'm trying to harp on it. I just look at scripture as a true north type of event. So anyway, let me go ahead and get started with you guys. Sweet, it actually worked. How about that? Anyway, so when we're looking at the strongholds or the things that keep you withholding love, right? So there are these ideas and these things where you're thinking about holding back love because a lot of times it's from previous traumas. So we don't want to share those expanded blessings, those shared talents, those selfless acts of love. We don't want to do that because a lot of times it makes us vulnerable. Vulnerable to what? Vulnerable to the trauma that happened prior to you being open to share that particular part of yourself.